In this county, in the early 1800s, the first 7 men that registered their land, 2 of those were of my family, and I had another grandfather at the same time that didn't register that year, but he was here. We find several here around in the early 1600s. We have pretty deep roots, I think, here.
This is a story which begins far away in Scotland. It winds through Chicago and eventually back here to Greene's Mill. It is the story of the Greene family and how they've always found a way together.
The initial Greene's Mill started with the dam and the grist mill. My great-grandfather Jasper Newton Greene, he built the dam. The mill was, just for his use and the neighbors' use to do their grain grinding. Well, this is the way that the grain was ground. This is just taking a large stone, and every bit of this is hand cut. And this was the bottom stone for Greene's Mill.
Life and work had led the Greenes away from their Marion County home and the old grist mill, but they would return together.
My dad and I have worked together since I was probably 8 or 9 years old. He used to have a fence company, and I used to go with him, just learn the tools that he used and help him with learning about fencing. We bought a piece of property that had a gas station, and I ran that for a while, starting then the log home business.
However, when the housing market died, the log home market died at the same time.
The phone just stops ringing, the emails stop coming in, and next thing you know, there's not anything to do.
We knew we had to evolve.
Growing up in a family of entrepreneurs that are always looking for the next thing, that are always testing, I think that's nature and nurture. I had a job with a bigger corporation and got laid off from that. It's about the same time the housing market died. When I got laid off, I thought it was the end of the world. My wife was pregnant, it was Christmas, and business was pretty slow here, and it just felt like the end of the world. But if that had not happened, we wouldn't have grown personally and with the business the way it is now. So it's the best thing that could have ever happened.
We started making door hangers and signs and various things like that, and began to sell it around the country.
Chances are, if you're watching this, you've seen our product, you didn't know it was us. In our niche, we're probably the biggest supplier of this product in the East. We've got 2 completely different businesses going on. We're looking at a third. So we see a need and we fill it.
Now we're doing quite a bit of printing.
It's developing into a lot of different items, banners and signs and window treatments of all kinds, and it's really going well.
The legacy of Greene's Mill has come quite a way since that old stone ground the neighbor's grain.
That's all we can do, is to continue doing the best we can, and that's what they did, and I think they'd be pleased.
We've always done something. Every generation has had a different business, and I expect 20 years from now for this to look completely different.
I hope the boys are, I think they'll continue that, and maybe even the grandkids can enjoy it. I don't know, but we'll see.
It gives me chills because when I see them in here sweeping or playing around, it reminds me of when I was their age and I was going to my dad's place and doing the same thing. So we've come full circle.
The story of the Greene family is a lot like the old mill wheel from Greene's Mill. It just keeps turning, but it always comes back full circle, back home. And it's always absolutely Alabama.